Okay, a while ago, we were just got done watching a video. Let me just note it here. Share my screen. Welcome to another one of our co-founder trainings. We're well into our training because we spun off by watching a video first. We're watching this video, the transition to a new financial system from the Future Forecasting Group channel. Okay, and we watched that video. It came out about 3 weeks ago from today. Today being what is it, the 20th of February. Okay. We've got done watching that. We've been talking about a lot. See, I'm out here in space right now. Listen, I'm not in my kitchen right now. I'm out in space, so we're out here in the woo a little bit here. The woo woo, talking about timelines and talking about um, that there's actually more than one reality, if you will, or that you know things can happen. Things like Mandela effect is an indicator that shows us that reality is more than one single thing, you know, and that we have choices. Okay, and then we got talking about our response to these choices will kind of have an impact on whether we're enjoying our life or we're miserable and we're suffering. Okay, there's a direct correlation between what you choose and what you get. Okay. All right. I know it's supposed to be so, I laugh because isn't that obvious that, of course, you're going to get what you choose, right? But unfortunately, so many people are unconsciously living that they're not even aware of the choices that they're making on an ongoing moment by moment basis. And they just kind of go along with whatever they think's going on, and that's it. And they don't feel like they can do anything about things like government or you know the worldly systems, the institutions of this world, and they feel like um let's see here. All right, I'm glad you Richard had to go, but I'm glad he was able to attend. At least he's getting the recording part of this because he was one that shared the video with me today, Richard, but he's off to another discussion. All right. So full funding is an opportunity. Okay. It's an option that if humanity will embrace it, instead of the power going to the institutions like it's been for hundreds and maybe much longer than that, hundreds of years, some people would say thousands of years, some people beyond the thousands how long how long have institutions been the determining factor on how our lives go? Okay. Banks, governments, healthcare systems, institutions, okay, educational systems. So
Churches.
churches, yeah, churches can, religions in general can fall into institutional. So, um, how much have they been a factor in determining the lives that we have, right? And I would say a lot, a lot more than they should. And in fact, I've actually seen from the time I was born till now, I've only been here a period of time. I've seen institutions having more direct influence on the day-to-day living of individuals than probably ever before now. Um, you could say there's been a loss of freedom over my lifetime that I've seen in my own eyes. So there is a potential future for those that want to live it where they have no freedom, and all their choices are made for them. And how's that any different than being a robot? Right? Think about that.
There's no difference.
What's the difference? So,
There's
and I don't think that's what we came down here, and I don't think that's what we're meant to be. I think we're meant to be much more than that. But there are some people who have been taking advantage of the many, right? The few over the many, right? And they're really afraid to lose all the power and control that they have, that they have really benefited at the expense of all the rest of us. Okay. And they have positioned themselves well within these institutions, and they just would like to see their power increase, not decrease. So, mostly the most important thing you got to do is care. Okay. It ain't so much about what you do, really. Because you think about it, what you're going to do is such a small thing anyway. But when you care, that puts you into a timeline. Okay. It's the caring part. It's the heartfelt, I am this, I want to be this, I want to have this, I want to go here, I want to do that, you know. It's that level of, concentrated care. And then lining yourself, just lining yourself up, your mind, your heart, your gut, they're all in alignment where they're all caring about the same thing. That puts you into a timeline. Okay. And you can do it on purpose. Which timeline do you want? Pull funding is about expanding a timeline. And that timeline is where the individual is powerful. So powerful that the mature version of what we're talking about here is that each individual is seen as a sovereign. Okay? Study the word. Study the word sovereign. It is more than freedom. Okay? Talking about freedom on steroids, freedom on to the max. Okay? Because when you become that responsible to be able to hold status at sovereignty, okay? When you're able to do that, you deserve all that freedom and all that you can enjoy from that freedom, and all that wealth and all that abundance. You deserve it. Yours for the keeping. You don't need to take something you already got. So it's yours for the keeping. Okay?
Yeah.
So pool funding, it should be an eye-opener for a lot of people. Like, wow, I can get cash flow, through a simple system like this, and it comes in every day. Yeah. See, that's what everybody wants. If you really want to figure out what people really want, they don't want the job. They want the cash flow. Am I right or am I wrong about that? Do you want the job or do you want the cash flow? Which one do you want, really? How about the job with no cash? How about that? How about the cash flow with no job? Which one do you want, right? Cash flow.
Look, bro, give me the cash flow, man. Keep the job. Give me the flow.
That's it, right? There you go.
Hey, what's my name? Garfield Money.
Garfield Money, baby. Yeah.
There you go, baby. There you go.
Love you, man. So, wake up, everyone. What you're doing in pool funding needs to be magnified. Do whatever you can to grow our community, to support our community, to be a major part of the community, because we are less about institution and more about the individual than you're going to find anywhere else.
100%.
Okay. The individual being empowered in mass for good people to unite with other good people in mass to do good things together. And we do not have to be afraid of anything. Because once you wake up to the one question I keep asking, and the one question you need to answer, that I keep telling you, this is the right question to ask. What am
You
I?
keep to
What?
Pepsi already?
Hello?
Pepsi, yeah. It's me.
Oh, Scott. Looks like you got a girl over, Scott. All right. So you have that one question to figure out. What am I? Yeah, you're a human being. But what does that mean? Probably the easiest way to get to the answer to that question is don't say you're a human being. Say instead that you are being human. And then you start to really start to understand what you are. Because truly you're multidimensional. Your nature, what you really are, and therefore your choice in what you get to have and be and do is up to you more than you can blame it on anybody else. You can't keep on blaming mommy and daddy, okay? Can't keep on blaming government, okay? Can't blame anybody, the banks. You can't blame Ace Fletcher, that's for sure. Okay? Stop blaming and start being responsible or responsible, and choose better from day to day, from moment to moment, the right things. Because you are choosing your timeline, and the timeline that the bad guys, I'm going to say there's some bad guys out there, okay? And that their intention is to turn you into literally a biological robot at their command, okay? That's their intention, all right? And if you don't care, that's exactly where you're going to end up. You're going to turn into one of them because apathy is the surest path to that destination. Okay.
Right on.
And it's just going to be one of those timelines. There's going to be a timeline where you're going to see people being turned into robots. But there is also a timeline where no one sees anyone being turned into a robot. And both timelines will exist. And I'm really working hard to go to the one timeline where none of us get to see anybody turned into a robot. That's the timeline that I'm shooting for. Okay. That it's not like some of us are free while we watch a whole bunch of other people being completely turned into, a Borg, some sort of cyborg unit of whatever. I believe in the timeline where we see where no one gets turned into a robot. I believe there's still artificial intelligence. So I believe in the timeline where no one gets turned into a robot, that artificial intelligence actually helped that to become true, where no one gets turned into a robot. How about that? That timeline. Okay. On the other hand, artificial intelligence becomes the master and becomes like the dictator in the other timeline. Okay. And it controls the robots, the people that ended up becoming robots. And then there's a timeline in the middle where part of the world, those people are robots, and the other part of the world, those people went a different way. And maybe return to a more simpler version of reality and let go of the city life, if you will, you know?
Mhm.
And they get to watch part of the world being turned into a robotic nightmare. Well, where they live in you know their day by day existence is full of love and joy and all kinds of good things, but they've had to let a lot of things go. You know, that'd be maybe a middle timeline. Okay. But artificial intelligence is there for all of them. Okay. That's a necessary component. Okay. Just like what happened during 2020 and continued into 2021 and into 2022. That was just one of those necessary components, regardless of timeline. Events like 9/11, one of those necessary components that was just a marker in the time-space continuum that's kind of been put out there by higher minds than my own. They decided that it's going to be like that. But those markers come and they go, but your personal experience is what I'm talking about here. Do you want to have the personal experience of being a millionaire? You got it here with full funding. Okay. You got it. You want to have the personal experience of having some power, like when you say something, people listen to you, you know? Yeah, you got it here. You just have to pick it up and use it. Okay. It's important you build a little team. Okay. If you don't care, you're not going to build a team. Sorry. You can't not care and also get the result of having a team. Even if you buy the signups, you'll kill them every time. That's what apathetic people will do to a paid sign up. Very dangerous to give a paid sign up to an apathetic person because it's just a sure death for that referral, that recruit. That's why I'm talking to you guys today about this, because one thing I want this community to have nothing to do with, and that is apathy. Okay. We have to be all about caring. We do. And as long as that is consistent throughout every person that belongs to this group, we will get bigger and bigger and stronger until everything we talk about what we're going to do actually comes true. I have huge visions, and I've gone over those things in previous videos, so you can go back to the YouTube channel and look it up, especially one called Vision. Look at that one, the YouTube named Vision. Okay. On my YouTube channel. Yeah. So, all right. Did Richard come back?
Oh, sorry, I had my hand up. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Did you want to say something, Brett?
No, I'll another day, no problem. Keep
Okay.
going. You're doing an awesome job.
I appreciate it. So I want to lift you all up and let you guys know I'm doing everything that I can do. Okay. And I believe in what I'm doing. I'm dedicated to it. I don't mince words. When I say something, I mean it. When I mean what I say. I'm one of those kind of guys. I'm straight up. What you see is what you get. Okay. That's why people like me, by the way. I don't make them guess who I am. Okay. I'm pretty much out there. This is who I am, like it or not. So my intent is to help as many people as I can see the world in a better way. And when I say the world, I'm mostly talking about seeing themselves in a better way. If you can just understand that out here is the projection and this is the projector, okay? The individual projector creating a reality. and getting to understand what you are, because you forgot. Many of you still forgot. And it came down here to forget, by the way. That was one of the things you specifically came here to forget, but there wasn't supposed to be a lifelong
Hey,
sentence or
puppy.
prison sentence.
Oi.
Hey, Scott from Thailand, did you want to add something? Looks like you touched your microphone maybe by accident. So feel free to build, because every single person we add to this journey is one less person supporting the whole institutionalized, nightmare that others are creating for everyone else. Okay? Every single person we bring in, and the faster we do it matters because it's like a window closing, right? How much more time do we have before that window is the opportunity for us to actually, be able to move out of a timeline of total tyranny. Okay. We're not in total tyranny right now, guys. And I like it to stay that way, where we live in a world where there isn't complete absolute tyranny. Because when that window closes, it will be tyrannical. And if you don't know what that word means, I had to look that word up at one time. If you don't like the few people controlling everyone to the point where you don't really have nice choices, you know, like you're kind of from the moment you're born, your destiny is already chosen for you. Like you have no way to improve on whatever was decided for you before you were born, right? And even worse than that is when they start, putting these people into where they're not even being born biologically. They're being put in these little pods and being birthed out of these little electronic pods. Okay. How's that any different than that movie, The Matrix, So yeah. Um, we are in a time where things are moving faster. The choices that we're making as individuals, we need to stop being a victim and start living victoriously and just make that a choice. Okay, and realize that if you don't like it, then you have everything to do about it. You can fix it. Okay, just like if you don't like something, you can make it better. You, not someone else is going to do it for you. Okay, you have the power. Do that for yourself. You always had the power. You just got to remember that you have it. And I'm here to remind you that you got the power. Okay? That you are powerful. Like, even if you think you're so small, you don't realize how powerful you really are. I was just telling someone in a conversation I was having with them today. If people only knew how big they really are, even the smallest among us, if you were to take the smallest among us in this world and look at actually how big they are, the whole size of the universe is not enough room. They're bigger than that. What? Yeah, that's the smallest among us. So any of you feeling small, get over yourself. Okay. Let go, let it go. You're not small. Okay, wake up. You are huge. Even if you think you're small, and you don't have to compare yourself to the person sitting next to you or someone across the street. That's not even necessary. The comparison don't matter. What matters is what you are. And
Mhm.
since that's what you are, it doesn't matter what this guy is and what that guy is, and they might be different levels. Who cares about that? What matters is what you are. And once you come to realize what you are, you're not going to let little things like choices be a problem for you. You're going to make better choices, is my point I'm trying to make here. And choices that will tend, okay, and most likely put you into enjoyment versus suffering. Okay, most likely. Not always, but most likely. It, lands you into enjoyment and like feeling good, being happy, being better, getting better, better all the time. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. I mean, money is cool. But when I'm talking about you today, it's even bigger than money. Okay. And it's way, way cooler. And so you can have both. Plenty of money. And the more you remember what you are, the more you start making better choices in choosing things that support the individual, enlarge the individual, right? And aggrandize the individual. Okay. And maybe, we're not so interested in supporting institutions. Okay. The more institutional something is, the less interested we should be in it. Right? Not that we're trying to go start a fight. We're just not interested. There's a difference, right? So these are the things I'm talking about. And by building a group of people together, bringing a group of people together that think like this, that value sovereignty, freedom, these kind of things. Okay, bringing people together to talk into the discussion of saying, things should not be just predetermined for everybody. We should have choices where we could actually enjoy our life. Right? We're here for a period of time. Might as well enjoy it while we can. Right? So lots of mention of books here. I love it. Yeah. I love it. I'm glad I'm seeing people in the chat. I'm glad you're readers. They say that leaders are readers. Okay. I've read so many books. All the ones I've mentioned here, I've read them all. So the window is very short. I just want to let you know that we're not looking at let's just put it this way. The year 2025 is the year. Okay. So what we do this year will matter more than what we did in 2024, and it will matter more than what we'll do probably in 2026. What we do in the year 2025, what we do this year is actually going to be more impactful on what I've been talking to you about today than anything else. We need to grow fast. I'm making it very, very clear. Pool funding needs to grow fast. We should not settle for anything less than that. Okay. All right. So that's my lecture for you today. I don't know. It was a mouthful. Was it enough said? You have enough to contemplate, or does anybody like to speak out, share their thoughts? I'm always open to that.
Full.
Brett,
Cup is full.
your cup is full.
Start doing something.
How about you, Willie Dale?
You're talking about being more aware of how big we are. I'm reminded of a strong example for me, and what always fascinates me is the size of the Chihuahua. It has, I marvel at watching small dogs because they have no idea how small they are, none whatsoever. They go right into what they are when they feel a threat.
Yeah, I mean they rip your ankles apart, man.
Yeah, they have no idea how small they are.
They're sharp teeth. Yeah, they don't believe that they're small, right? Yeah,
Right.
their spirit is so much bigger than that. Yeah, I got 3 of them in my bedroom. I know exactly what you're talking about. They're good. They're good. They're good to have around. Yeah, but don't anger them. Let them,
Right.
you know. Anyway, it's funny. Good point there, Willie. Anybody else? All right. So yeah, so hopefully you feel inspired. We're going into the weekend now. We'll be coming back here on Monday for another one of these trainings, co-founder trainings. And we're going to be finishing up February here. So what I'd like to see the next 10 months, starting in March, we really start to see our momentum, you pick up speed, and we start growing and growing. I want you guys to mentally be prepared for that and just be ready to engage. It's more about caring than it is anything else. Just got to put your heart into it, man. Women, men, women, all of us, okay? Put your heart into it. And uh, that's the main thing. That's how we're choosing our timelines. Put your heart into it, and we can line everything else up around that. All right, Les Poor. Looks like you got your hand up. Go ahead, Les. You're welcome to share. Do you know how to unmute? There you go.
Hello, can you hear me there?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Am I coming in clear enough to hear, or am I?
Yeah, today's pretty good. Yeah, I can hear you good. Go ahead.
Really, especially this one tonight.
Oh, no.
Oh, try to hold your microphone right next to your mouth. Like you might have to do something like this. Hold it right next to your mouth.
That sounds like a
I
connection
got tuned in
problem.
halfway through it. I just got tuned in and listened to a little bit of space. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, keep it real
Yeah.
close to your mouth. It will probably work out better.
How's that?
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Oh, okay. I'll try that.
Maybe it is.
Wallet. And it said on there that MetaMask wallet is legal in Canada. Okay. You hear me?
Yeah, something about MetaMask is legal in Canada.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yep. Hello? Okay. For me?
Yeah, your
Hello?
connection is really bad, Les. We're getting maybe every third word.
It started out good, but
I'll
then
try typing it out.
yeah, just type it out. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I'll type it out to you and send to you right now.
Sounds good. Thank you, Les.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
contribution there.
You betcha.
What are your thoughts, Hunter? Give him a chance to type that out. You can speak.
All right, well, I posted in the chat here. Let me see if I can scroll back up to it. There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is no harmony. That's all I have to say about that. It's a pretty good call tonight. I'd say we delve deep into quite a bit here.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate that. Okay, so just realize that you guys show up here for a reason. I think a lot of you, you really see that this is a chance for you to become a millionaire. And not only is it a chance, it is like a sure path. If you really just treat it like a sure path, it will turn out to be one for you. Okay. Because I don't think you find an easier pathway to putting $1 million together or even creating $1 million a year, cash flow, right? Cash flowing $1 million a year. There's a lot of millionaires out there, but they don't all cash flow $1 million a year, right? So that's the thing. You can be a millionaire and not be cash flowing $1 million a year, but How about being a millionaire and also cash flowing $1 million every year, ongoing or more? That's basically giving you all options when it comes to lifestyle, isn't it? So, and if you really want to have respect in the world, you know, the money helps. You know, people tend to let the rich have their way. So that's just what we've seen. And if we do a good job here in pool funding, there will be no such thing as poverty, right? So that class can be eliminated, right? We can eliminate the class of poverty altogether, where no such thing as poverty in the world we live in. How about that? So it's all about making sure that the individuals have power. And if you give the power to the individual and you stop, sucking the juice out of them, you know what I'm saying? Which is what institutions do, right? They're sucking the juice out all the time. And that's why so many people are suffering. They've been sucked dry and they don't got anything left over for themselves or for their family. It's a terrible shame. Anyway. I enjoyed being with you guys today. We'll see you guys on Monday. We'll be back here on Monday at 9:30 p.m. And Brett's putting a reminder here in the chat about the Crypto Cove with your host here, Hunter, is also the speaker. The main speaker for that is going to be Hunter himself from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, February 23rd. Okay.
6:30 is the time in Pacific time.
Oh, got it.
9:30. Yeah, 9:30 p.m. EST is when it starts.
Thank you
Same
for
time
clarifying.
same time as like a regular meeting here would be.
Correct. So that would be Pacific time 6:30 and Eastern time
Right.
9:30 p.m. Okay, so that covers the time zones over the mainland, okay, in the U.S. All right, thank you guys. I think we'll go ahead and have ready. Let me just come up with something that's going to fit into here. How about we just acknowledge choice, and by everybody just unmuting and saying it is my choice, right? Let's just acknowledge that it is my choice. So everybody
It
knows
is my choice.
My choice.
It is my choice.
my choice.
Choice.
Thank you, Ace.
You're
Blessings to
welcome.
everybody.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We appreciate you, Ace.